Oof, ladies and gents, this is a bad look. Collider's Steven Weintraub, Frosty, whatever he bloody calls himself, yeah, is absolutely laden in the crap at the moment. Because of this, Collider, Editor-in-Chief Steven Weintraub, had to issue an apology, basically, because he appeared to mock Zack Snyder over the death of his daughter and the circumstances of Justice League. Mental. Absolutely mental. But let's dive into it. Let's take a look whether that is the case or not. It's fascinating. It is absolutely fascinating. And even in his sort of... Yeah, even in his apology, it doesn't really... I don't think it really explains it that much. But we'll have a look and we'll see. And what you need to keep into account here... And I'm not a defender of Justice League, the Snyder Cut. I'm happy to watch it and see what it's like. 4 hours I think is a bit too much, but we'll see. But what you need to take into account here is that, you know, Weintraub has a long history of taking jabs at, well, anything to do with fandom. Like, any fans that want to appreciate what the core of brought them to the fandom, he hates. That is what he is. He hates all of that. Remember, this individual absolutely screamed and shouted and praised Terminator Dark Fate. He loves the Star Wars series, blah, blah, blah. Oh, loads of crap we could talk about. So I think he really exposes himself at the very core of kind of what he's about in these tweets and just generally in how he handles himself. This article is linked down below. Please do go and check it out. I'm a little bit late on this, ladies and gents. I was busy having to watch a bunch of movies ready to review Boss Level as well as Willy's Wonderland. So expect those reviews coming soon. But anyway, Collider Editor-in-Chief Steven Weintraub has apologised for his insensitive reaction to Zack Snyder's recent revelation that his departure from 2017's Justice League was due to more than just a family emergency. So he's basically there's this interview, it was tweeted out, and he did the Ryan Gosling laughing meme, you know? Sort of just hee, like ha ha ha, you know, sod you sort of thing. And I mean, it's just disgraceful. It's basically to say, oh, you know, it's just because of that, is it? Oh no, it's because of this and a bit more. Ha ha ha, you know, sod you. You know, like to hell with you sort of thing. It's just a bit of a joke, really. Now, you know, regardless of what I think of the Justice League, you know, the movie, what happened to it, so on and so forth, I'm never going to sit there and go, well, you know, Zack Snyder's a turd for leaving because of his daughter. I mean, family emergencies, horrendous. Absolute garbage, you know. There's a line between criticising someone's work and criticising a person. You know, there is a line. It's very... Shouldn't cross it. You know, you shouldn't cross it. And admittedly, maybe I've done it here, there, you know, in certain videos here and there. But I'm never going to sit there over something as a baseline as just humanity, right? You know, the humanity of someone. That's disgusting. It's awful. So in an interview for the new book release, The Snyder Cut, an insider look at the Lost Justice League movie, Snyder explained that the constant creative battles between himself and the studio were a major contributing factor in his decision to bail from the project. So he says, and I quote, "I was just kind of done with it. I was in this place of knowing my family needs me more than this bullshit, and I just need to honour them and do the best I can to heal that world. I had no energy to fight the studio and fight for the movie. Literally zero energy for that. I really think that's the main thing." Now he continued on by saying he could have tried to stay and fight Warner Brothers in order to make the movie into what he wanted, but was beaten by what was going on in his life, namely the death of his teenage daughter. I think there's a different world where I stayed and kind of tried, and I'm sure I could have, because every movie is a fight, right? I was used to that, but I just did not have the energy. There was no fight in me. I had been beaten by what was going on in my life, and I just didn't want to. I didn't care to. That was kind of where I was. Pretty understandable, to be honest. By now, the rest of the story is as well known as the very characters in the film, which makes sense, you know, Jeff Johns, Joss Whedon, so on and so forth. And then obviously now, the reshoots and the new movie and everything coming to fruition. So, look, fans successful, 2-year campaign, blah, blah, blah. However, However, people have been mocking him still, and one individual is Collider Editor-in-Chief Steven Weintraub, who replied to the playlist report, because they did the tweet, with the Ryan Gosling laughing. So this was the thing. Zack Snyder left Justice League in 2017 because he had no energy to fight Warner Brothers over the film, right? It's a sweeping headline. It is a sweeping headline. And obviously, there's two ways of looking at it. Steven read the headline and went, ha, I apparently know more than you. Lol, I guess. Or he read the whole thing and was like, ha, whatever, mate. Like, mockery. I mean, either way, it's both mockery, isn't it? But one has a different intent behind it. And he did this. It's like, mate, bro, look into it. Come on now. Like, I get sent tweets. And I try to look at them before I reply. Side note, follow me at Mistake Reviews. Now, Weintraub obviously quickly deleted that before anything could actually be archived after receiving a wave of backlash from fans. And while the editor's intent behind the tweet remains unknown, many took it to be a snide jab at Snyder's personal and unthinkable tragedy. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers obviously did a video. And, you know, there's not just that one tweet. Right, there's not just that one tweet. There are a few others where he labels Snyder bros. And Jeremy kind of, you know, goes through this and talks about his attack, I guess, on fandoms, you know, toxic fandoms, and all this kind of stuff. And it's not really toxic. I disagree with that. Like, I was called toxic due to my coverage of Dark Fate, and I just said, look, ultimately, if they go with what the leaks are and what I'm hearing from sources, it's going to fail. And lo and behold, I was right, and it did fail. And that's not being toxic, you know. I think that's understanding a fandom, right? At the end of the day, you know, you've got to appeal to the fandom at its core first and foremost before you start looking for a wider audience, because that's, you got to please them people first. They are your bread and butter. So following the self-deletion of his tweet, Weintraub then declared that his least favourite people on Twitter are Snyder bros who think they know everything about the making of Justice League. And clarified that he was, in fact, looking forward to see. So this is what I mean, like, what? So he does that, he gets absolute backlash, and then he just attacks. It's like, mate, what are you doing? Calm down. So he says, my least favourite people on Twitter are the Snyder bros who think they know everything about the making of Justice League. Let me be clear, I am looking forward to seeing the new 4-hour cut of Justice League. I'm sure it'll be a better movie. But a lot of stuff was going on when that movie was being filmed and edited that still hasn't come out. One day, maybe it will, but I've been doing this job 15 years and you're coming at me like I just joined the internet and I don't know what I'm talking about. No, but people can come at you like you're acting like a bit of a douchebag, mate, and that's probably what they were doing, and you didn't like being called out. And then he posted this later on. It says, earlier today I posted a GIF which some took to mean I was laughing at someone else's pain. To anyone who thought that I posted it to be mean or hurtful, that was completely not my intent, and I'm sincerely sorry it came out that way. I'm just going to stick to cat pics from now. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, mate, like, you've got to be careful with, you know, I mean, it's difficult to interpret that tweet in any other way, you know. And then the fact that this was his first reaction, you know, going, oh, well, I know what was going on. So he is basically saying, you know, you're using the tragedy as a smokescreen, which is a horrible accusation to make. Because if this is his go-to, right, this is his go-to response, because this was tweeted out way, way, way later. So this is the go-to response. Like, that doesn't scream, oh, yeah, no, I agree with you. It screams, you're talking nonsense. So it is kind of, it was mocking, wasn't it? He was mocking. What a douche. Whatever, you know. And like, I've got my personal gripes with Snyder Bros, because they seem to be, you know, the ones which just absolutely unequivocally believe Ray Fisher. And I don't believe anyone until they provide a little bit, like, actual context, you know. Like this here, for instance. Like, we still don't really know the context of the situation. He laughed. We don't know why, right? But the follow-up tweets contextualise it as, I don't believe you. So it's very difficult, isn't it? But anyway, whatever. Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Like I said at the start, I've been a little bit behind on news here and there. I've been reviewing movies, or watching movies to review. So expect some good movie reviews coming out soon. Some stuff to get into your eyeballs and earballs whilst we are in this lockdown. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I've been Mr. H. Leave your thoughts down below. Take care.